best in the game, ready to ignite. Put up a fight, gonna leave them all in fright. Playing Magic the Gathering on a Saturday night. Summoning creatures, casting spells with all his might. Sipping on more coffee to stay awake and bright. Caffeine runs fueling his creativity inside. Got a YouTube channel where he's shining so bright. MTG 3, the show that takes flight. He's a lyrical beast, spitting fire with every bite. Rap metal flow, pounding beats to insight. No one can stop him, he's on a meteoric height. Super fast tortoise, the champion of the fight.
Good morning, hope you're up. Enjoy that coffee in your cup. Good morning from the shelf. Super fast tortoise does so well. Sit back, relax, time to chillax. Face the facts, morning coffee show intact. Let's enjoy the show, let's enjoy the flow. Morning coffee is the best. Chatting with friends, we are blessed. Coffee for every dude. Have fun, enjoy the show. Let this channel grow. Let's enjoy the show. Morning coffee is the best. Chatting with friends, we are blessed. Coffee for every dude.
Whoa! This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power and will, 5%, 57% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. Super Fast Tortoise just rips off Fort Minor. But truth is, you are important. And we're going to talk about that today. But first of all, how are you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah. How are you doing today, Hellwheeler?
I'm doing good. I'm slowly working out this whole software for my model. So I've managed to move Lupin up so she's not on my feet anymore. And now she's nuzzling up nice next to me.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. And how are you doing, kjcowboydan?
I'm doing all right. So apparently there was an update to OBS, and now my OBS keeps crashing. So another day without the animation.
Oh, no, another day. Well, we're glad you're here still because you are remarkable to the show.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. All of you make the show great, and that's why I appreciate you all. And let's say hello to people in chat. Thinking of people we appreciate. We got tcgdude.
What's up?
We got Mrs. HILLBILLY. Ho ho. And more people will roll in as we go because today we're going to dive into Magic the Gathering. And thinking of psychology, we're going to be psychologically transformed because tcgdude is here.
Cool.
What is that?
Huh?
It's a tcgdude, apparently. Oh, my goodness. Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
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 A wild TCGdude just appeared in the stream. For everyone who has their Pokeballs ready, start throwing them now. We can catch him.
Bloop. Ding, ding.
Give me a sleeve.
That's right.
TCGdude,
you,
I
sir.
choose you.
That's right.
Start with wipe attack.
Uh-oh.
I thought his attack
He's all
was
out of
my
PP.
hand.
He fainted. That's awesome.
No. Well,
Y'all having a good morning?
it is a good morning. It is like completely eventful. I pushed more monologue out than I have in a while, and it was completely done on the spur of the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta say that's impressive because I originally saw it popped up and I was like, oh, look, this looks nice. And then I moved away from the screen and I was like, oh, it's still showing there's a message in the Discord. I went back, scrolled. Oh my goodness! Where does the guy think of these things?
I don't know.
First of all, a monologue, more like a whole tree. Oh,
I'm a monologue tree. I got your joke there. Logs. I just hope when we read it, people don't saw logs.
Is it story time yet?
Story time. Yeah. make fun of the tortoise. He gets creative. Like he gets creative. He gets the days where he does light topics, and there's days he does heavier topics. And today's just one of those days where the topic is heavier. I'm motivated. And that's the whole point of today's conversation, is to motivate people and help people think the way I think. And I know not everybody thinks the way I think, but to get a little insight might help someone down the road. And some people, I know a couple people out in the world who will never watch a show who need to hear this conversation today.
Yep.
But am I ready for this? Not really, but we'll get through it. But on a good hand, I am so happy you all here today. You guys make this amazing, awesome, incredible. And I can't wait for more people to roll in. On a good hand, last night's game was fun. We had a couple good Commander games last night. And before the show, we were talking about helping out small creators where we can and trying to actualize, visualize, and realize the truths about trying to help everybody we can in the community that we have. Because sometimes work is harder than we want it to be. Sometimes there's change that's prevalent and we cannot help it. You know, sometimes the way we treat people is inevitable to the consequences that follow.
Right.
Sorry, I'm probably laying down too much truth here. Oh, let's see. But man, hope your day is good. Hope you're vibing, chilling, chillaxing. Like my brain's saying, we got to get through the show. We got to get through the segments. And also my brain's like, let's just get to it. Let's just do it. But we got to follow the order. There is an order to the show and how things go. But I'm excited you're all here.
Excited to be here.
Are we in class? Is school in session?
Yeah, class and school session. So how is the little TCG dude doing?
She's doing all right, man. Getting full size here. Definitely, bodily functions and filling out diapers and drinking bottles and all that. Yep, gotta love it. But she gave me some time this morning to make a thumbnail, so I was pretty happy about that.
Nice. How nice of her to get ready to have time to make a thumbnail.
Exactly. Courteous, baby.
That's right. Courteous. You were about to say something, KJ?
No.
No? Oh, I thought you were. You seem preoccupied. Are you okay?
Oh, no. I'm just listening.
Just listen to soft.
I didn't want to interrupt while tcgdude was talking about mini TCG, and didn't want to interrupt that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How kind of you, sir.
Because it's how we do things. We try to be polite. We try to let people say their thoughts. And man, you guys, honestly, I'm looking at the faces here. I'm trying to read the atmosphere, and you guys look so ready for today's topic. It is intense, and we're not even there yet. We still got a couple minutes till we get to the next segment, and you guys are like, we're going to tackle this.
I'm ready to flip a table.
Right? Yeah, because the rough thing I try not to do I try not to evoke people's emotions, right? I try to make people feel good, try to help elevate their attitude, not personality, their attitude. I try to help elevate their attitude. But the truth is, some facts that we are learned and taught in life are not always the things we want to hear, but we must hear.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true, because like a long time ago, I said it never changes a YouTuber, but reality showed the more you grow, there are things that are going to change, and as long as you stick to your core personality and your core beliefs, your core self, you're gonna be better for sticking to who you are. as much as you're going to change in the world.
Meow.
Meowing? Yeah.
Somebody's meowing.
Yeah. My son's alarm clock just went off for some reason. He doesn't get up for a couple hours, and the cat's going crazy. Cat's like, meow. So my son has a cat. His name is Tommy.
Yay.
And when he's sleeping, if he like somehow like rolls over in bed and makes a sound, he's at that door meowing like, oh, you're going to let me in the room. All right. And sometimes that's how we are with releases of Magic, right? Magic product comes out. And we're like, meow, meow. I want some.
Yup.
That's right. Oh, interesting news. Hillbilly bought some singles yesterday.
Sure did.
How did it feel?
Singles.
Yeah, how did it feel buying single Magic cards?
It felt different because I was, I mean, it don't feel like the packs though. I mean, you don't get that crack packing adrenaline.
Right.
But it did feel good to get the cards.
Right? Because in a selfish way, it always feels good to get what you want.
Yep.
And when you don't get what you want, it leaves you.
Mm-hmm. I hear the baby. The baby.
Yep.
Boop, boop. This is a mini TCG dude coming at you with some sound advice.
That's actually the soundboard.
Soundboard?
Yeah,
Oh.
I was saying, if you don't get what you want there, it leaves you crying like a baby.
Nice. Sound advice and good philosophy. All right. So, the best thing about today is I believe we got some great minds with us today on the show who are going to have good point of views to feed the discussion. And with that, we're going to get to the first bumper of the day.
You are watching Super Fast Tortoise.
Put up a fight, gonna leave them all in fright. Playing Magic the Gathering on a Saturday night. Summoning creatures, casting spells with all his might. Sipping on more coffee to stay awake and bright.
Woo, woo, woo. As we focus on getting into the future of things in a few minutes, we need to get back on track to where we're going. We need to know where we're going, and Hillbilly knows where we're going. He needs to help us.
Card of the day. Combo breaker.
Ooh.
Right. So I was looking at a card. I believe we covered this card before as card of the day, but today I'm like, let's pick something that feels like this or that, because sometimes choices in life leave us in this or that.
Mm-hmm.
We got Spell Tithe Enforcer. Costs 3 generic, 2 white. It's creature, elephant, wizard, 3/3. It says, whenever an opponent plays a spell, that player sacrifices a permanent unless they pay 1.
Ooh.
So your opponents are kind of forced to pay 1 additional mana for each spell they cast, or they lose something. Talk about a massive responsibility to keep your board state intact.
Yeah, that's rough. That's almost worse than the Thalia, but it's obviously 5 mana instead of 2.
Right.
So, to get it out, it takes a lot more effort or like graveyard shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you, someone's uploaded a video. I don't know if your Discords are going crazy, but mine just flew off the roof.
Oh, I turned off Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, I make sure to turn off all my notifications, and hell, I even put my phone on silent when I'm on the show, like a professional.
I should put my phone on silent just in case I get a phone call. I didn't think about it.
Mine's always on sound, but I still get those dang on phone calls, and it still comes through.
I didn't know how much I was talking, and all you guys probably heard was voop 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 voop.
I wish I could put the cat on silent or whatever. Apparently, he wants coffee just as much as me. I just looked up to find him standing on the kitchen side with his paw in my coffee cup.
Oh wow!
The last coffee I had.
Wow.
That's not what I need. I do not need a coffeed up cat.
Right. Coffee cat, coffee cat.
And it's probably, and the cat's probably saying, "Well, Mama can have coffee, I can have
And
coffee too."
tell us you took a picture of it. Send it to Tortoise for the morning photo.
Unfortunately, this is the cat that sees a camera coming anywhere near him and runs a mile before you can even take the photo.
Right. Ooh. Right. So back on the card. Spelltether Enforcer is actually pretty decent for Commander, and you have removal spell can drop it from the game really quick. I think it poses a really good threat to make people have to waste spells to remove this creature from the board. I think you should give this card a gander and possibly think about playing it in your white decks because it's pretty solid. Hillbilly doesn't.
Do we? It looks like a very good creature.
It is a really good creature. It's a fun creature. But you haven't played with your vampire deck or your dog meat deck in a while. It's pretty.
Yeah.
Because you hate white colored mana. You're like, it's not good enough. And here's a card that's good enough.
It's been a while.
This card's really, I think, blue-white control. But there's a lot you can do with it. Yeah. Well, enough time on this card. Let's get some pictures of the day. Boom. All pro MTG Commander players. I fear no man. Soul Ring turn 1. But that thing is scary.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one's good. That one's good.
Yeah.
That's kind of the shadow of this kind of reminds me of Thanos.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like look like a mix between Thanos and the main character dad from
It is. It's the dad from The Impossibles. This is the scene when he is just after he's lost his job.
Oh yeah.
And he's sitting there trying to figure out what he's going to do, and he gets the notification to start doing hero stuff again.
Ah, yeah. But that thing scares me. Next picture. I hope you like seeing KJ as a youngster.
I still have that hat.
Right? Kids made fun of me in middle school. That's why I play blue.
You what?
You what? You play blue. You play mono blue. You play counter spells and play blue-white board wipes. All the fun stuff. He's a control player. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, definitely. White blue, not mono blue either. He's gonna throw the Tefiris in there.
Yeah, Teferi's protection. You say you have all the money in the world and you build blue-white control because you can afford all the blue and white expensive staples. And you play counter spells because they're cheap. You know, it's like Joker says about gasoline in Dark Knight. He says that's the thing. It does a lot of work and it's cheap. You don't have to lots of money. It's cheap. I mean, cancel's cheap. Counter spells cheap. All the counter spells you want are cheap. So why don't you just stop people from playing for less money and play and spend the money on big spells that matter, like Teferi's Protection, Cyclonic Rift. I don't know. I'm giving people bad advice. They shouldn't play blue-white control. It makes games last forever. Yeah. Oh, and if you do play blue-white control, have a win condition. Taking extra turns infinitely is not a win condition. But this is super fast tortoise. Me, it's just commander. Let's not get competitive. Me after turn 3. If you get the picture, you understand that's a board wipe. That's right. Like last night's game, how many board wipes did HILLBILLY see? Too many to care about.
Yep.
Too many. I'll be right back, Post.
All right. Too many board wipes to care about. Like, I play lots of board wipes in that deck.
Yeah.
And look, I was even nice enough to discard Armageddon because I could have board wiped the board and destroyed all lands and had the upper hand for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah. But I try not to play that card too much unless the scene is for it. Thank you, James Willis, for the Armageddon.
Ella.
Morning, Ella. Brandon.
Morning.
Happy Dag Day, everyone. Hope you got your mail, Brandon. And morning, Salmonella, Ella. All right. Now, next picture of the day, the last picture of the day. Boom, hillbilly. We have rustic study and smothering ties. Everybody goes after you. Rustic Study is an expensive card we didn't put on your list of expensive cards to grab in the future for your deck, but that card would be good.
Yeah, I won't get that.
Yeah, it's one of those. You have to wait a month to get those cards because that card's like $40 at the moment for the cheap version.
Yep.
But yeah,
and
why does Captain Jack Sparrow remind me of TCG Dude? I don't know. He's not here to defend himself to say, I'm not Captain Jack Sparrow. But this is how I imagine TCG Dude looks.
Well, I think I might have seen that look a few times going into a collectible shop.
Right.
Especially on game day.
Right. Ooh, yeah. Now, if you guys have pictures of the day that you'd like to share with the show, become a part and share your pictures in the right room, because there's a room for pictures of the day and a room for question of the day, and you'll get a shout out for bringing up these pictures and questions of the day. And we love it when you participate because, one, my job gets a little bit easier, but two, we get to sell and know you are participating with the creep as part of the creep because you guys rock, you guys roll. Links in the description below. And now we're going to get to the question of the day segment. Presented by Discord, we have the question of the day. The question of the day is brought to us by AI Morgan Freeman, which is ironic because he was my main movie character of the day yesterday. But let's see what Morgan Freeman has to ask today.
What is something that happened today or will happen today that makes you happy?
So, that was kind of hard to understand. What is something that has happened today or that you know will happen today that will make you happy or has made you happy?
Being here.
Being here. Oh, you're so sentimental. Mm-hmm.
I would always look forward to coming here on this.
Oh yeah, and I love that you guys.
I'm making bacon right now, so I'm super happy.
Bacon.
Nice.
And look, KJ got OBS set up.
Yeah, I had to pull out one of my classic overlays because for some reason I couldn't find any of the overlays I was using.
So, what is something you happy today, or you know it's going to happen today? What will make you happy?
Well, I'm happy that OBS finally started to work. But in seriousness, I'm happy about one of the things that we've been taking for granted. And while it didn't happen today, it happened this week in history. And I am happy for what we have. One of the things that we take for granted for. And this will be in the form of Dr. Seuss. Oh, December, a month full of cheer. The fact that the past will bring you some gear. In 1901, on this very day, Giuliano Marcioni had something to say. Across the Atlantic, through the sky so wide, he sent the first wireless signal through the sky. From Cornwall to Newfoundland, the message did fly, providing the waves of cold proving that waves could zoom through the sky. Sorry, I screwed it up. But yes, today in history, this week in history, and I'm grateful for it, we learned about wireless information communication.
Nice.
Well, not Wi-Fi, but we were able to send radio signals. So hey,
All right.
I'm glad you
and
said
walkie-talkie
this week.
signals.
I was going to say, you do realize it's not the 12th today, right?
yeah. Well, this week in history.
Technically next week, but we'll let it fly. let's not hurt KJ's ego by spitting facts.
I've said it once before. My lore is I'm lost in time. So I mean, I'm broadcasting from the future. How do I know what day this is getting to you guys?
You know what? You should get a what do you call it? Outer Limits background for your backdrop one day.
Mm-hmm.
Get see if you can find a GIF one that just like completely circles around you. That'd be cool.
I'll have to find something like that. Outer Limits, Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make one if I have to.
That'd be cool. And Hellwheeler, what is something makes you happy today? Or, what will happen later that'll make you happy today?
Oof. I know. I'm just still enjoying my new PC. I've been setting it up, and I finally got my my third monitor working.
Third?
Yes. Well, for those that are on my Discord, I did post a little video, and my PC has a screen built into it.
Nice.
I know. It's really bizarre to see, but it's really cool as well. So
is it
I've
like
got
a Mac?
No, it's just a proper PC tower. It's just got a little screen built into the front of it. So I've got the temperatures and things, all that stuff that's permanently displayed there. So it's not too, it's not obscuring myself from the stuff I need to do on my PC, but it's nice and visible.
Oh,
Or as I said, AJ, I can put a fireplace on it.
Nice. That's awesome. That is completely, utterly, unnecessarily cool.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That is awesome. That's a little thing in life that gets you going. Like having that little extra thing sometimes just brightens your day, literally and figuratively. That's awesome. Awesome for you.
It's a nice brightener considering I got stuck inside the building today, so always fun. I had to get the building. Was it the council people that I rent off? I had to get them out. And go, can you do something about the back door because I can't get out of my building?
Right.
The door handle had fallen off, and it was completely jammed with all the wind we've been having.
No.
So
well, hopefully they get it fixed in a good time.
The emergency came out really quick, so I was really impressed with that. Came out, removed the lock from the door, so because they can't order a new door or anything today, being Sunday. But no, removed the lock from the door so I can get in and out of the building again.
Oh yeah!
Very impressed by how quickly they came.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Indubitably. Man. tcgdude is making bacon, so he's happy about that. We're going to roll over to.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe.
Moves, the strategies, and the flair. Super fast tortoise is running the show. The crowd goes wild wherever he goes.
Woo-wee! Let's get into this. We're going to get into the monologue. Sit down, relax, pull out some popcorn, stay awake, because Tortoise is about to read you a story. All right. Magic the Gathering Psychology 101. How to be a happier player in our beloved game. Jokingly, but seriously for some people, take showers, groom yourself, be good. There are 3 types of people on social media these days who shout the loudest or has the loudest voices in the community, especially in our neck of the woods. You have the players who love to play the game and think of cards as game pieces. You have the players who look at the game as a sport to be mastered. Then you have the collectors who collect Magic cards for value and complain about reprints and price changes like in a stock market of cards. But, oh no. Where am I? All right, I just lost my spot for a second. I need to break this up. And all right, but a lot of people in all three categories neglect some simple facts. 1, Magic is just a game. 2, Magic is not important to survive. 3, Magic the Gathering is just a hobby. All right, and no matter how well some people may know this when they make videos and stuff, and they get really heated in an argument, they forget to mention that these things are important to remember. So, because all they're doing is trying to build FOMO in people's lives, because people are have that fear of missing out. Because we live in a world where FOMO, fear of missing out, is a sales tactic, and people are pushed to stay relevant in a hobby from standard to commander and so on. Not everyone is responsible when it comes to finances. And some people forget to put their finances first because sales tactics are trying to distract them from reality. Now, I want you all to be responsible with yourself. And with that, some people have been vocal or on when they spend too much money on our favorite game. They spend a lot of money. But there are some things you should keep in mind when you live in a world like ours. For example, have a savings account for emergencies. You want like $2,000 saved for emergencies. And don't touch that. Keep it for emergencies. And no, MTG is not an emergency. Magic the Gathering is not an emergency for those who have to hear that. Right? Have a separate bank account from your checking account for expendable income. You know, your overflow, the things that are not your bills. This is where you put money that is excess from your emergency account and separate from your necessities like groceries, bills, and household rent payments. Necessities need to be looked at from a month ahead. So it's always good to try to have 2 months of your bills and rent saved up. And that's not always easy. And sometimes it takes a couple months to catch up to that. You want your bills to be paid for at least by a month. Some people plan on longer and save up to 6 months ahead, just in case their job situations change or something like an emergency pops up that takes them away from their job and can be such things. Like some people will spend time and money on creating a food bank in their pantries or basements. So if they lose their job, they don't have to put a lot of focus on saving and spending money on food. All right. Now, being prepared for such things is hypothetical. People need to hear this. Some people need to hear it more than others, and some people are already on top of this because Magic the Gathering will not save you from such situations. You might have cards you can redeem for money at your local game store, but usually you're going to get half the profit and not all the stuff you need, and it's not going to take care of you forever. So you want to take care of yourself first and make yourself a priority and a responsibility. You, as a person, are important and should look at yourself as the most important person in your life, along with your immediate family. You need to prioritize you first. You need to love yourself first. You are important and are important to you. You got to love you. Put yourself first. Not every day is going to be easy. Sometimes you need to stand and look in the mirror and, hypothetical, tell yourself that you're worth it, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're awesome, and you're worth the effort you take every day to go to work and support yourself and your family. But most of all, you have to get comfortable in trusting yourself, building confidence in your livelihood, because you matter. You as a person matter. You matter to people, but your home life is based on the care and attention you put into yourself and your family. You are number one, and my God, life makes you work for it. Life makes you work hard to remind yourself that you're number one. It makes you work 12-hour shifts sometimes. Sometimes you have to work overnight. Sometimes you have to work extra time. Sometimes you have to sacrifice things you love to support yourself. Now, as fun as Magic the Gathering can be, Magic the Gathering is not a part of your livelihood. Your income, small or big, should determine how you interact with Magic the Gathering. Also, remember, your life comes first, and the most important thing is to know Magic the Gathering can be a part of your escape from life, but it is not your life. You are an amazing person, and you need to look into the mirror and tell yourself that every day. You are amazing. Also, you are important. Your life is not worth a simple game. A game is just an escape from life momentarily. Now, let's open the discussion to everybody here and in chat who wants to participate and have a wonderful conversation about this.
Absolutely. I don't feel like flipping a table yet. But I do find it amazing, though, that we as a community have to have a discussion about being responsible adults.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a good majority of us in this community, I've noticed are in our 30s or higher, particularly here around the Tortoise channel, you know, so we need to adult a little better. That's that's all this topic is pretty much is going to be saying in the long run it's that we need to adult better.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've made a decision, Dan. We've got a new word to add to the ban list for our podcast show.
Adult.
Adulting. I don't like it. It's definitely going to be banned from our show. It seems too sensible to adults.
Yeah. So it's a good point, and I think that you're right. We do need to adult better.
Well, one thing a lot of people neglect in their videos on social media and stuff, when they talk about Magic, they get you sucked into the world of Magic, and they treat it like it's the most important thing that you're watching. And they're always talking advice on how to be better at Magic, how to spin better at Magic, how to be better at Magic, but they never explain to you that Magic is not a necessity. In fact, the one person in this life that I know who speaks a lot of Magic not being a necessity is MTG Gaming Bob. Yeah. And we should normalize the fact that people should be responsible with Magic Gathering. Because like when I was young, I was not responsible. In fact, I was hopping from apartment to apartment and stuff because I kept failing on rent sometimes and not being responsible with my money and being sucked into the world of Magic. And luckily, I'm in a place where I don't have to worry anymore. But people are taught to buy in a capitalist world. People are taught to buy, but there's not a lot of people educating people on to save money. You know, people think it's weird. You know, you think it'd be like an actualized event where if someone's like, "Oh, I need to be responsible." People neglect that in their own heads when they're getting in life. They're like, I like the escape. I like the feelings it gives me. I love the socializing aspect. This is a lifestyle I can get into. And people tend to take the ideal word of lifestyle and kind of merge it with life. And they get sometimes too mixed, you know? And trust me, it is easy for someone with like a mental disability like me to get sucked into the world of Magic and feel FOMO. And yeah, this is stuff that's affected me, and I've seen it affect people even worse outside of myself. And
oh yeah, definitely, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was just thinking on the same thing of, I know for me the hardest time to be sensible and adult with my money is on those days when I'm, you know, my mental health is in the toilet and, you know, not feeling great or whatever. I can't work out food or something. I just want something comforting, whether it's some comfort food, a comfort Pokemon pack, you know, and at that time it's hard to adult and be the sensible person and go, no, I need to pay my bills.
Oh yeah. Well, Really quick, I want to say Waffles says he talks about this stuff a lot too, which is awesome. And one thing people forget that we were once young and we're children. And a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people as children, have toys, fun things, memories that make them happy. And as you grow up, you kind of want to have fun, have your toys, and be happy. And life in general is like, you got to pay your bills, you got to spend wisely, you got to take care of yourself. And those three things do not mix well with I want to have fun, want my toys to be happy.
Well, a lot of people also don't like. Oh, sorry. Continue. Sorry.
My bad, bro. I was just gonna say there's always a conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and trust me, I used to be this person who gave into his wills a lot when it came to like Magic the Gathering stuff I loved. So a lot of this stuff I've discussed comes from personal experience and people who are smarter than me, like my wife, who've done these things and showed me a better way to do this. Like can't spend money on Magic Gathering like other people can because our finances in order, bills, groceries, and stuff. Like I used to put Magic Gathering before groceries. I'd be happy with buying like a week's worth of ramen noodles and being unhealthy because of it, instead of actually focusing money on my bills and groceries to eat healthy and be better at my work or my job.
Yep.
Well, sacrifices must be made, and everybody's standards of living are different.
Indeed. Indeed.
Right.
Also, like, particularly everybody here on the panel today, we're old enough to have learned that, but unfortunately there are those who are in their 20s who are just starting their adulting journey, and who are addicted to their TCGs or their whatever their gaming addiction is. I see these kids all the time on Twitch that I watch, constantly complaining about not having money because they spent their most recent monies on their game packages for all these games, and now they're begging their chat for donations so they can pay rent. And it's like, we understand but you're in your 20s now, you're in your 30s, you have to start adulting. If you're under that, then you're still probably living at mom and dad's house in grandma's basement or whatever. But for the most part, you don't want to end up on the street. You don't want to end up in a situation where your health goes bad. I'll tell you what, the pandemic was a big issue for a lot of things, including Magic, but it was also a big issue for people's mental health. And we got addicted to being able to have everything we wanted at our doorstep within hours of our ordering it, if it came so to it, and which included our gaming addictions like Magic, and our even there's even services that for those adults who are addicted to things like alcohol that would be delivered to their door in a lot of states.
Right.
And so mental health, addictions, and a few other things got worse during the pandemic, and we forgot as a society how to adult in real life.
Oh yeah, and it shows, like on the social medias and the news, that shows. But responsibility is boring. Let's be honest here.
Well,
Boring.
Responsibility.
Well, I can sum this up with one word: priorities.
That's right.
You have to set your priorities. What's more important, roof over your head or the $60 Magic card?
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I've got most of my main bills, things like rent, set to come out almost as soon as the money goes in my account. The major ones that keep the roof over my head. Even if I'm cold or I'm hungry, at least you've still got that roof and that bed.
Right.
But get that one done straight away before I even had a chance to even see the money. That way, at least I know I've got something set.
Yeah, because we live in a world where nobody can be satisfied with making do, right? That we live in a world right now that people are not satisfied being content. They feel like they need, especially the younger you are, you feel like you need more. You need to socialize. You need to do something. No matter if it's Magic the Gathering or not, people feel like they need to do more to enhance their life. But really, you don't. Right? Now, this is old person talking from experience. But when younger me would be like, dude, if I'm not hanging out with my friends, I'm wasting my life. You know what I'm saying? And people associate with hanging out with spending money. Because if you go to a restaurant, you need to buy your meals. If you go to the game shop, you need to buy your cards. Sometimes if you go to a tournament, you got to pay your entry fee. So everybody associates going out, doing something fun with spending money. But you know what? Me and my friends did too a lot when we were broke. We stayed at home, gathered our friends at home, and played Magic for free with the cards we already paid for. You know, and
yeah, and you know, I recall as a youngster BMXing or skateboarding. You know, it only costs say $100 or so, and most kids, at least boys, I'd imagine at some point in their life, you know, got a bike or a skateboard or a baseball bat and gloves, you know what I'm saying? And got some sort of sport or activity that people could get into and that wasn't so cost draining, like a hobby similar to Magic. But, you know, the cool thing about Magic is that it is a collectible hobby that once you buy into, say, a cheap pauper deck for $40, you can play the hell out of that pauper deck as much as you want. You know, you may burn out on it. You may say, oh, Magic's not for me, or I want a different deck. And then we're talking more money, you know, at that point. But I don't know, man. I really think that Magic is a beautiful thing. And, you know, it is what you put into it, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, and Backwoods Collector, hello, and Captain Waffles. Yeah, that's why we got tons of board games too. Like we do board games, so we don't have to go out. You know,
just like this Magic deck right here. I'm gonna use that as an example. I like playing this deck. It's a Landfall Manifest Red deck. Very fun. Needs upgrades. I've went yesterday, spent a little bit of money, bought some cards for it. It's not fully upgraded yet. I'm still wanting some more cards for it, but gotta wait for another month.
Right.
And also I could have bought those all those cards all in 1 month. But if I had have, would have been able to pay my rent.
Right. Or maybe you wouldn't be able to eat.
Exactly.
Dinner, you know.
Exactly. That stuff comes first before anything. After I take care of all of that, the rest of it is my toy money.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd like to think that, you know, this kind of extreme situation is really a small minority of the Magic player base. If it's larger than that, then there's kind of a concern there. But, you know, I'm not going to be one to ignore that there's people on all sides of the spectrum in the Magic space. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
yeah,
right.
For sure.
Right.
But, you know, I don't know, man. You can use and abuse Magic like anything else, like video games, like, you know, illicits, or hell, even exercise. You know, some people will go to the gym for an extra hour, do cardio or whatever, hit a sauna because they just don't want to go home.
Well, sometimes that's the mentality behind it, you know. Like there's times I'd stay out later with my friends at the game shop because I didn't want to go home, be by myself and do nothing, you know. But hitting on that fact, I think one thing a lot of people need to learn is to be comfortable with themselves. So going home, sometimes being by yourself is an okay thing. Maybe you can focus on a good dinner that you wanted to make, or maybe you can clean your house the way you want to clean your house. You know, it's hard to think of this way as a kid, as a youngster. But as an adult, you really need to push the boundaries of putting your responsibilities first. And like, it's not always fun. That's the worst part. You know what's not? You know what some people think is not fun? Taking a shower. Because sometimes people go to the game shop not taking a shower, but people don't think about representing themselves. This is kind of a sway into a different area of the topic, but self-care is important. Now, I'm not telling you to put on makeup and do all those fancy treatments, but sometimes, showering, putting on deodorant, making yourself representable is important, because if you can feel good being in front of other people feel good being around you. That's a good thing. That's part of Psychology 101 too.
Yeah.
I know, KJ.
I mean, part of my mission, being TCG dude, is keeping Magic alive. I suppose one could be like, but isn't TCG a general thing? What about Pokemon? What about Yu-Gi-Oh? Are you ignoring those games? No, I'm not actively ignoring them. I just don't participate in them. My time, we all have 24 hours in our day, and I can only devote so much time to Magic. I will get onto those other ones in time. But I'm trying to keep my Magic relationship healthy. And for anyone that knows me, oh man, it's definitely a struggle. But I think that I'm out here keeping it alive and keeping the flame lit, because man, it's a good game. Like, it's been over 30 years that it's been played, and that's for a reason, right? Generations of families have played and understood Magic and enjoyed it, have made money off of it, have fed their children. These artists are making money, these game designers are making money, these content creators are making money off of Magic, right? It's a whole ecosystem. So there's going to be good and bad in it.
Right.
Captain
You
Waffles
build a life. Oh, sorry.
Captain Waffles has a good point. He says, I'm heading out to make money doing Instacart. Begging for donations when making bad decisions is something people need to take accountability for. And accountability is a big thing there. I'm glad he brought it up, because my brain probably wouldn't have thought of it at the moment. Because that's one of the things we've been beating around the bush about, is taking accountability. But sometimes it's hard to take accountability, because sometimes we don't understand the importance of accountability and owning up to our mistakes is. All right, now go ahead, KJ.
I was just agreeing with TCG dude, and because the community is so big, you're going to have all these different types. Now, I know of a particular comic book shop in my area that they have a restroom, and in their restroom it says, "We're not going to deny you service, but please be sure to wash your hands before you thumb through the comic books." And I know that this was referring to that a lot of people go to the comic book store and they don't shower up and they don't clean it. It also hurts the product when you're going to your LGS or your comic book shop and you're going in not cleaned, because you're looking at and you're potentially using vintage material that can be damaged by the oils on your fingers. So I mean, being clean is not, especially when dealing in the LGSs and the comic books and other collectibles, is a good idea, because you want to keep your product nice, especially when you're going to a game shop for a game and people are going to be going, I want to see that card, I might buy it, and they have greasy, oily hands.
Well, it's true. And another thing, people who don't take care of themselves hygienically, like taking showers and stuff, they don't think about they don't think about the favorite place they love going to, like their game shop. They don't think about the reputation they're giving them for allowing them to stink up the store. Like I've had conversations with a lot of people who were not into Magic but checked out game stores for board games and stuff, and talked about the disgusting smells that people have had in the game store and the reputation they made the game store, and how they wouldn't want to return to that store, or if they ever do return, it'll probably be like, who knows when. They didn't put a to be determined date on it. They're like, we don't know. you know. And plus, why is it less important for people to take showers, be hygienically clean, and represent themselves at a good rate at a store? I mean, people think, dude, $4 for a stick of deodorant is not a good value, but they'll spend $20 on a magic card. You know, I saw that meme the other day, and it made me laugh. You know,
it is,
You know what's
unfortunately. Oh, sorry.
My bad, Dan. I didn't mean to cut in there, but just real quick, dude. Speaking of deodorant, I went to the store championship for end of the year championship at my LGS. Brought my magic deck. Forgot my deodorant.
no.
I was perpetuating the meme. Why?
You kind of just elaborated what I was just going to say, though. It's I was going to say, unfortunately, there are those times when it's like, you know, it is a meme, and it is a true meme, and perpetuating the meme or not, but intentionally or accidentally, it is a true aspect of the culture of walking into a collectible shop, whether it be a comic book shop or a TCG shop, and because you see it on all spectrums. And my comic book shop is a TCG shop, and they have their gaming competitions in the other room, and you can see the atmosphere, literally, and
smell it.
You know, and it is a meme that is legit and accurate, but I believe that it's not as. Now, I'm not the gamer, so I'm not going in there going, just need to bring a hazmat suit or whatever. I'm not thinking that, because I don't see as many people who fit that meme at my trading card shop that is also a comic book shop, getting both both guys in there, the stereotypes for the card gamers and the comic book guys. And I'm not seeing as many nowadays. It is starting to like loosen up a little bit, I'd say.
Right.
You know,
Captain Waffle says, I always shower before leaving my house. It's a priority issue. I don't like feeling dirty. Yeah. You know, showering is important, but like, really quick, let's drop the ball here. Self-care is important and shouldn't be neglected, not just for others, but for your own mentality.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I mean, from a disabled point, though, like, there are times where I know I need to have a shower, but I just don't have it in me. If my carer's not around to help me, then it's a simple point of I can't. But I'm not going to go leaving the flat then.
Right.
It's sort of a point of, at most, I might pop down to the corner shop to grab milk.
Right.
If it's sort of on that desperate situation. But realistically, I'm not going to be leaving the flat at all.
Right. And no one's going to shun you if you don't shower because you had to leave in an emergency either, you know. Yeah. There are forgivable moments in these kind of things. And now I'm not saying it's in the world that someone doesn't shower, but some people, like I had a friend of mine who would work the food industry in a hot kitchen for like a week without a shower and smelled raunchy as hell, and would go straight to F&M smelling like the worst piece of steak ever.
Wow.
You know, like he literally twice got kicked out of a card shop because he smelled so bad.
Dang.
And he did not have a good self-image of himself, which is something that's important. It's self-image. That's in psychology, right? And really quick, Backwoods Collector says, I thought all LGSs smelled like roses and lilacs. I thought it was a WP requirement, right? like store owners can't control how people smell. But self-image is huge, right? So we've discussed finances, we discussed hygienics, but self-image, right? A lot of kids, especially from my generation, got into Magic because their self-image was low and it brought something brighter to their life and made them feel important. But one thing that's hard to do is people to feel important by themselves. You know, like people don't know how to value themselves when, like, myself is the most valuable person and my family in my life, right? My wife's the most important person to me. I'm the most important person to me. My son's the most important person to me, right? My family is the most important person. If you can group them up as a person, my family is the most important person to me, right? And I used to not have the atmosphere. There used to be a time where I could care less whatever happened to me. I could die and no one would care. I actually just cared about what would happen to you because I didn't have enough self-value in myself. And I think people need to realize in today's culture that they're important, you know, and they need, and you know, don't take this as a hustle gig, because I know some people, and this is not Waffles, I know he likes to hustle and stuff, but like I know some people in my life who, you know, you tell them they're doing a good job and stuff, or you give them a piece of advice, they think that's just a piece of advice to help them hustle people out of money, right? People try to take advantage of other people. One time I had a conversation with a friend saying, you know, when you're asking for money or asking for help somebody, you know, it's a good thing to offer something in return, or turn it around into a win-win situation where if they help you out, you know, they're going to win out of it, you know, and you don't want to approach people without an idea of how you can pay them back or feel better for it. And he took those words and said, well, I'm going to turn it into a hustle situation. And I'm just going to use that motivation to hustle people out of money. And in this particular time, he didn't help himself. He just learned to negotiate a little better to screw people over. And that's not what we want to do, right? Because screwing people over is not good. By having a good image of yourself and wanting to help both parties out and actually be good with your life, that's important. Because he didn't learn self-value, he just learned monetary value out of that situation. And what I want people to understand is your self-value, your self-worth is more important than anything else in this world. Like, my family is most important, but I can't help my family out if I don't help myself. And I'm in a situation where I can't work. I'm in a situation where I can't help out the way I can in like most normal families, but I'm in a situation where I can take care of the house, I can take care of the food, you know, having integrity in the things that you love, right? I do what I can in my part, right? Because people today are in a take situation. A lot of people are takers, they're only going to take what they want. Some people are afraid or just don't want to give. They don't want to give back. People have become Scrooges in this world. That's holiday themed, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, almost Christmas, perfect timing.
Right. Right. So I think it's important that people learn self-value. Like one of the toughest things I had growing up, trying to jump from job to job, because I can't hold down a job because of my issues, right? I'm too sporadic. Like on this show, I am the most controlled I am ever compared to work or any other situation. I'm an emotional wreck, and I don't know what the difference is, and I'm trying to correlate that because maybe in the future that might change, right? But like in the situation, I have self-value and worth, and when I do that, when I put those two things together, it shows my value because I have a hard time knowing my value. Because I'd go from job to job, and this is what I was starting with, and I wouldn't know how to negotiate wages, right? Because I didn't know how important it was to have a house. I didn't know what the right thing was to have a house, like the right wages to have a house or an apartment. Let's be honest, not a house. You know, I didn't know how to correlate my self-worth. You know, like I remember watching Boogie in 2988 to correlate his self-worth, and he was wrong on his self-worth. Like, he just monetized his self-worth, like how much money he brings in. That's his self-worth, right? Self-worth is more than monetary staples, but knowing your monetary situation, how much money you need to make is important. But to put value in yourself is more than just knowing how much you're worth in monetary value, but it's about how much you're willing to give back into making that possible. That makes sense?
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Steve, I look at self-worth as is something that you can potentially bring you into a negative spot. I mean, on top of the financial aspects of self-worth, like if you're too busy worried about like how I am in other people's eyes, as opposed to how you are in your own eyes, you're going to end up giving yourself some mental issues. Like I'm not saying like you're going to be giving yourself like issues that are that need like actual mental issues, but I'm like you're gonna give yourself mental issues of your own doubt. Every time you compare yourself to another streamer, another gamer, another person in the field that you're at, and you keep on comparing yourself to that person, you're gonna see where you're not that person, and that's very harmful, especially with your self-worth. Now, when it comes to my self-image, like you see yourself when you look in the mirror, and you wake up every morning and go, this is not the man that I remember being. This is an old man. He's gotten gray, wrinkledy, and you're in your 40s. Ugh.
You're in your 40s and have 2 cats.
You're not that 20-year-old kid that you used to be. You're not as spry, but I don't look at myself that way. I don't pick that image of somebody that I want to be, because that brings down my self-worth, my self-image. Yeah, I do see myself as that 20-year-old kid still, even though I look in the mirror and I'm seeing a 47-year-old man. But in the meantime, I live my life like I am that 47-year-old man who has bills to pay, who has to go out into public. So it'd be nice to not offend people by my odor. And I have to pay my rent. So I'm not going to buy that game. It's going to hurt me to buy that new monitor that I had to buy. And thanks to the community, I was able to get there without having to dip into some funds that would ultimately make it so that way either I'm not here or I don't pay my rent. And and if it came between my not paying my rent and not being here, I was gonna not be here. I would have had to miss Jess's birthday party, even though I didn't want to. We could have always had the birthday card just go live and not worry about it, but Jess wouldn't have gotten to react to it in front of everybody. And thanks to the community, I didn't have to sacrifice something that would have ultimately put me in a negative situation. And I wouldn't have made that decision anyway. I would have said, look, I'm paying my rent. Sorry.
Right. And see, one of the things out of all you said that I can relate to 100% is comparing myself to others. I used to compare myself to others in the most worst ways. I'd look at other people and said, I can't do that. I can't do that. Instead of thinking I can't do it that way, my brain would be like, I can't do that. I'll never be that good. I'll never do that. I'd never be able to afford that. What changed my life around was a conversation with my wife and whatnot, and working on projects in the vein I want to. And it came down to, instead of thinking I could never do what they do, it came down to I'm gonna do it the way I can. And that's another thing people don't think about, because people love to idolize people they'll never be, or they idolize people that they think are what they want to be. They neglect the fact that they're uniquely them. They know they're uniquely them, but they don't accept the fact they're uniquely them. And, they think they could do it better. Like my brother-in-law struggles with that fact. He has, like, when he does, he has to do the best he can, but he has to do it like someone else. He has to study it like what someone else does. He's gotten good at that, but out of the trace, it wasn't uniquely him on some of the things that he does. But he does a lot of good things. He's very skilled. But I can never be like him and do things the way he does. I can never do things like I can never do things like let's say the professor does on his channel, right? When I first started my channel, I guess I was competing with his audience, and I just really sucked. Well, I wasn't too bad because there's a couple times he copied me, but but still, it worked really good. Like to learn that I need to do it my way and do it the best I can in my fashion. And some people forget they're only limited to their mindset, and their mindset should be about them because they're the most important person in the world.
Yep.
And financial backing and a whole team of editors.
Right.
Dude, when it comes to comparing your life to other people's, you're always going to be able to disappoint yourself. So, you know, in the spectrum of Magic content creation, Tolarian is the tip of the iceberg. You know what I'm saying? He's the top. He's the Mount Everest. He's
Right.
the top of the mountain there. So it's always going to be a climb to surpass him. You know what I'm saying? But if you can find contentment and peace, and hell, even better, some financial stability in doing YouTube and social media stuff in regards to Magic, I mean, more power to you. But I wouldn't make it a life mission unless it's, you know, within your capabilities and not gonna shortchange yourself or your family by doing so.
Right. And with that, my friends, let's lighten the load and click this button.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. So it's lit. MTG 3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG 3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
All right. We are here.
Cool.
We are here. Let's relax our brains. We just had a whole heap of a topic.
Oh, yeah.
And now that I hope this topic served you well. And I hope we had a good conversation and brightened your day and gave some of you out there watching this now or in the future something to think about and something to actualize, realize, and functionalize in your life. But now we need to get to the shill section because we are over time.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with the one and only TCG Dude.
Hey, what up, everyone? I'm Alex, the TCG Dude, out here keeping Magic alive. So yeah, man, if you like funny music, I got a Magic parody called My Hand. You can check that out. If you want to talk Magic, you can always hit me up at tcgdude on Discord or Twitter. I do on Arena and Magic Online gameplay. And if you're extra special, maybe some webcam Magic. But if you're looking to buy some Magic or get some extra blingy standard-ish, I got a core set box battle series going on right now. We are on core set 2013. These are Japanese boxes, mind you, but $30 is going to get you 5 packs to your door, and we are battling for an extra 3 packs with the high-low CMC. We have 4 seats left in this battle, so let's have a Christmas battle, y'all. Let's make this spicy. Let's ringle, jingle, jangle, and go ho, ho, ho all the way to this box, yo. All right.
All right.
So, yeah. Tortoise, thanks for having me here as always, bro.
All right. Yeah, we're always welcome. And rolling off from TCG Dude, we're going to Hellwheeler.
Whoop, whoop. I actually have no idea what's coming up. So hopefully, I think Wednesday we should be back with the podcast now that Dan has a monitor and I have a PC. So I think that's the plan.
Yeah, I think so.
What with my birthday, we haven't had much discussion otherwise. We've been procrastinating too much with my birthday. And apart from that, I'm just trying to work out what the first sort of proper game stream to be with my new PC, while I also work out a few OBS situations, because I believe the last stream, the Jackbox one, was a bit buffery. So just trying to fix that problem. You know, whole new PC, new setup, new, settings needed as usual. All fun.
Woo-woo. All right. And we're going to roll over from Hellwheeler and trip over KJ.
Hey, howdy, hey. I threw up my my different background just so that way you guys know the green smoke is not me. It's not me. I
It's
swear.
your body odor.
I swear. Sorry, I don't mean to make fun. So if you guys haven't had a chance to do so, go and check out the birthday celebration for Jesse Hellwheeler. It was fun. I uploaded the birthday card so everybody can view it. And I know it's a little jank, but because I didn't have my monitor, didn't have much time to work on it. So I do apologize for the jankness, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you leave a comment. If you didn't have a chance to wish her happy birthday, you can do a belated birthday comment on that video. It's on the page, on my page. So that's pretty much it.
All right.
You say it's jank, but I say there's only perhaps one part of it which is jank, and I think that was due to their very, very, very late submission.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise,
I think
it was awesome.
The only part that's jank about it is I didn't see kjcowboydan in the video.
Pay no attention to the head behind the curtain.
That's right.
I thought it was Spike at the moment.
Right. All right, Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody. 706 subs. That is awesome. Now, let's continue helping everybody grow their channels, liking, subscribing. And after they do their lives, come on back and leave a comment. Now, as far as me, this afternoon at 2 o'clock, when I'm trying to climb the mythic ladder, trying to get to mythic. And that's all I have planned for today.
Right.
I'll see everybody over on my channel if you want to see some arena gameplay at 2 o'clock.
All righty. Papa Tortoise here saying thank you guys for chilling out. Hit that like button if you like today's video. Leave a comment in the comments below after watching this, right? Leave a comment of your thoughts on this. Hey, you can argue with me. I'll respond back. But I don't think there's much to argue with because, we think about it and we will definitely get in touch with you. If you comment, we will comment, right? I hope you had a good time here. Please like this video. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed, right? We don't always have awesome content like today. Today's content was very special and unique for today. But we're always going live as much as every day as possible to bring you entertainment. Also, today is a marker in the day that everybody had a good time, and we hope you had a good time too. Yeah. Right? And with that, my friends, I want to remind you that you are loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, make someone's day a little bit brighter today, because all those help with your psychology. Until then, my friends, if you're going to play a game of Magic, play wise, my friends.
I totally want to thank you for watching today's video. I really appreciate it, 100%. Like this video as if it's your favorite kind of pizza, dude. And if you wouldn't mind, consider smashing that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. Every one of these things you do helps the channel out a lot.
The moves, the strategies, and the flair. Supervise